Welcome to Imagine Peace, the podcast that invites you on a transformative journey toward a world filled with harmony and understanding. Together, let's ignite the flame of peace within ourselves and radiate it outward so we can have a future where unity prevails. This is Imagine Peace, where dreams become reality. Join us as we explore the power of compassion, the beauty of diversity, and the potential for positive change. Hello, and welcome to Imagine Peace. I'm MarBeth Dunn here with my partner and co-director of 10 Million for World Peace, my joint host, Teri Angel. And today we have a very lovely guest, Maureen Whitehouse, who is widely recognized as a spiritual teacher and a miracle mentor as well. And in 1996, after intensive study of A Course in Miracles, she experienced a profound inner transformation that radically changed the course of her life. While thick in the midst of life as a wife and working mother, she devoted the next years to deepening understanding and integrating this transformation. For the last 20 plus years, she has helped people, many in the midst of their life's greatest challenges, to tangibly access the miraculous and to live a liberated life of joyful abundance and peace. Her teachings are simple yet revelatory and provocative, and that she believes awakening is our birthright, available to anyone, and the inevitable next phase of the evolution of humankind. Her mantra, if I can do it, anyone can. Oh, welcome, Maureen. We're so happy that you're here.
Hi, you two beautiful, amazing women. So just being here should feel peaceful to everyone because of the radiance that you two both hold. So very happy and privileged to be here.
So, Maureen, tell us about the work that you've been doing for world peace.
Yeah. So mostly in my world, I work with individuals to find that inner peace, to be able to access their true nature, or what I know and believe is our miraculous nature. And that part of us is, in its nature, the embodiment of peace. It's almost like anything that is going on in the outside world, we then, in our miraculous nature, see it as an opportunity to bring peace and to bring sanity and an awareness. So yeah, everything that I've been doing, especially with the people who found me through basically over these years through word of mouth, have found me when they've been many times in their most unpeaceful situations, their greatest problems and pain. And I've been kind of the go-to girl for, if everything else doesn't work, I'm the last resort. I prefer that I'm one of the first resorts, because it would be more immediate peace, and it would mean people are shifting towards that sane orientation. So I so appreciate the space that you hold here for bringing people and gathering in the way that's the most profound and important for everyone, to orient ourselves towards peace. That's our true self and our true nature. Yeah.
So beautiful, Maureen. How do you feel like your work impacts the world?
Well, I feel like it's been like, that metaphor of lighting candles. If you light one candle and someone lights up, especially when they've been in the throes of their greatest problem, the contrast between that kind of untenable pain and confusion and all the things that happen when someone's feeling separate from their divine self and their divine wisdom and that innate sense of peace. When someone shifts and gets themselves into that place where they're in alignment with that, there's such a dramatic contrast that you don't forget that easily. You start to know that peace would be much more valuable as our default. That we every day, all day, if we intended to focus on peace, then the pain could die of neglect. And so that's our capacity, each and every one of us. But most of us don't know that, because the headlines highlight the drama and, the multiple stories of all this pain and confusion that people can, identify with, and the trauma kind of based things that people are talking about now. I truly believe that spiritual awakening is mental health, period. I don't believe that we can find persistent peace until we align with the spirit of ourselves.
Beautiful. Very well said, Maureen. You knew that.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty articulate with this just because I've been in the trenches for so long. People who normally are not like miraculously oriented or have a spiritual practice, I've been in the trenches with people like dropping their kids off at the bus stops and just normal everyday people who happen to be in the throes of a very challenging situation. And again, someone will say, just call Maureen. Who is she? Well, just call Maureen. We don't really know. And because they don't know how to quantify, it's hard to quantify miracles. It's easier to embody miracles. It's easier to be the peace that we're seeking than to try to find it out there. So I love that you are affording this opportunity to people to have a space that I know both of you anchor so genuinely, that you're holding a peaceful place on this planet relentlessly, because you are the embodiment of that in your everyday lives. And if people could understand the value of that, just entering into, this womb that you hold, to be able to bring people to a place where they remember who they are. It's more about remembering who we are. We just forget when we focus too much on the things that captivate our imagination and our attention all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what does world peace mean to you?
It means sanity, first of all. Like, I believe that is our birthright and why we came here. Like, when we came here, before we slapped on these human forms, we thought, how fun. We all get to engage in a kind of crazy dream. A Course in Miracles puts it a mad dream in which we want it thus, with our egos, this voice that separates us from each other and from everything and makes it kind of hard to attain things. Really, all we have to do is love it, and we become one with it. And it's so simple that it's overlooked. When people have that kind of aha or epiphany, they're like, what? How did I forget? The main thing is, we as peace workers remind people. And I think that the most valuable thing that we do as people who are committed to our own peace and well-being is embody it. Because I do believe that more than anything, people need examples, living, breathing examples of this that are not strange or weird or odd. And that I had little kids at the time that I woke up, and I was not expecting, that's not why I did A Course in Miracles. At the time, I was a commercial actor and a model for many years. I felt like a body. When I picked up A Course in Miracles in a little bookstore, it fell open to, I am not a body. I am free, for I am still as God created me. And I just started crying right in the bookstore. It hit me right in my heart, because I felt like a body. As a model, you're a clothes hanger. As a commercial actor, I could bite and smile and be the one that did that kind of thing. But even though my life was picture perfect, because I got really good at making commercial sets, like make it all look beautiful, I felt this deep sense of something's missing. I could show up and create the American dream around myself perfectly, but there was such a longing for something deeper and more peaceful. No matter how much I put, the alarms on in the house or had the picket fence, everything protecting me, that wasn't the peace I was looking for, or innately knew there has to be more than this. So I feel like when we embody it, I don't think anyone out there should dismiss their own importance in this, that it's like taking that one candle, and you're the flame and you're the light, and then lighting one and then lighting another and another and another, till we can start to see, when in what used to be darkness, too hard to see, stumbling our way around in all of this. You can feel it right now. If people who are listening and watching us hold this space of peace as our most important imperative, that if you are focused on the day-to-day headlines, or even, we all have these now, all have phones where every day, boom, 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 things are popping up that could feel like a personal assault, because it's in your hand, it's in your pocket, it's in your world. And there's not that much discrimination of what's this for? Is it for peace? Like, what's the end? What's the end of this? Where does it bring us? And I highly recommend to anyone who has one of these, or any other way that you hear or see the headlines that bombard us daily. When you look at it, ask yourself, to what end? Like, why am I reading that? Can I help? Can I be part of the solution? Can I be peaceful instead of this? Does it empower the part of me that feels more connected and knows it's divine? Is it my marching orders? Or is it something that I can just right now put on a side burner and instead focus on right here, what's within me, and be a mind full of grace, a heart open to loving everything, and then align our will with the divine. Yeah.
So beautiful.
Personally, there's nothing better. I know both of you know this because I know you live this. And personally, I mean, the life that I had before, and then the miracle that I didn't know I was asking for when I picked up A Course in Miracles. I thought I wanted, more national commercials so that I'd have residual income coming in. I didn't know that I would awaken to a completely different life in the midst of my life, where peace was evident. The beauty and the divine of everything is more evident when we orient ourselves towards who we truly are. I think we all came here to bring peace, to tell you the truth, even if we forgot. Don't you believe that? That everybody here came as a conduit of the divine. And the hardest thing to do is not to remember that, and to forget that and think you're a part of the conflict, or you're part of the problem, or you got to fight or battle your way through this. It's relax, relax, relax. The one who relaxes the most wins. Get yourself to that place of peace. When you embody it, now you get the internal marching orders that always feel peaceful and always feel aligned with your exact capacity in that moment. And then you'll know. And you know what it's always going to say? Love that. Love that. Embrace that.
That's beautiful.
Enjoy that. Appreciate that.
Maureen, I believe that you have a peace practice that you might like to share with our audience.
I do. So one day I manifested, because when you become oriented towards the miraculous like this, the divine likes to give us little boons or gifts to make our lives easier, to be able to have this peace and contentment ourselves. It's not about giving up to attain. It's about aligning to have all, give all to all. So I manifested a home on the ocean in a tropical climate because my intention was to meditate on the sunrise. And I really wanted to have an unobstructed sunrise. And so along with that came a beautiful home on the ocean that I kind of came about synchronistically and miraculously, another story. But I used to walk on the beach every morning and meditate on the sunrise. And one morning, after about 10 years of having worked with people one-on-one to help them personally access this kind of peace we're talking about, this miraculous nature of us, I asked, and my mentor is Jesus, the guy in the sandals, not the one hanging in the cross in the church or any of the dogma, the real miracle worker. He's my buddy. And I walked the beach, with him in my heart and mind. And I asked, how do I quantify what I'm doing with people that helps them so radically shift their minds to get out the other side when they're in their life's greatest pain, when I work one-on-one with people. And I immediately got a vision of a triangle, a triad, and it had, everything intact. And it was the E3 transformational triad. I'm still watching what E3 means. It's energy to the third power. I don't know, because people are using this system and embodying it. So maybe it means what we're talking about here, like 10 million times 3 times 3 exponential. Just keep it going, because we all need to live in this kind of world. So the top of the triangle is miracle mindedness. You shift your mind to open it to see differently, to actually prefer what's unseen, there's so much going on behind the scenes that we're so obsessed about knowing what it is, tactically, but it's all this beautiful, nebulous, unformed nature that we can really have our minds aligned with miraculously. Second phase is miracle matrixing. It's our hearts. We drop it from a knowledge to a lived experience. Matrix, you got to live it to be able to know it. So I can help people by guiding them. But then once it gets to, okay, live this now, I put my thumb on it kind of and have said, you own this, because it's not for you to follow me. It's for you to follow your inner being that knows this, but you got to live it to know it. So then the next phase is miracle mastery, where once you've shifted your mind and you can now see miracles, it's like a honeymoon phase. You start to see miracles where you couldn't see them before. When you start to live this peaceful orientation, this all-encompassing peaceful orientation, and it's your default, now I don't need, you know this, it's real because you're seeing, experiencing miracles all day, every day. Then, and only then, you're ready to give it from the overflow. From the overflow, really important. We then align our will with the divine. You see pictures of Jesus and other ascended masters and beings with their arms stretched out. It's this, they're embracing, embodying, and expanding the miraculous. They expand it. But we never give what we haven't already owned. That's the beauty of this. We never get depleted or burnt out because we're giving what we already are receiving. And it becomes this beautiful flow. When we get into this, those three phases, miracle mindedness, miracle matrixing, miracle mastery, so it's embrace, embody, and expand, then we're in such perfect alignment that we become the bringers of peace. And I love that came to me that way, because I didn't realize that's what I was doing. I wouldn't let people get away unless they were living it, because otherwise it gets very frustrating to hear people talk about things like peace and miracles when you're not living it and don't know it yourself. It can become torturous unless you're living it.
So you have a free gift, and we're going to have a link, actually a couple of free gifts. So we're going to have links to them with the description of the podcast. So
yeah, oh, how great! I'm glad, because it'll really help people access that immediate peace within them. So the first gift is an ebook that I wrote that's really nice and concise, but it says a lot of what I just said, but fleshes it out more. It's called From Pain to Power. And I believe once we have that kind of shift from pain to power, then it's our own firsthand experience that makes us then be able to embody this peace more readily. And then the next gift is a webinar called Miracles Demystified, the 3 steps that allow us to see and experience miracles all day, every day. And that's more fleshing out what I just was describing, giving a kind of little skeleton of it, the E3 transformational triad. So I know that would resonate with everybody who resonates with you two amazing, beautiful beings who are anchoring this kind of space here, but also who resonate with this mission of 10 million times to the third power of for world peace. We all deserve that. We all want that. I do believe, again, it's why we came in here. Each one of us personally was to be able to transcend the mayhem and access the miracles that we are, that we came in as.
Absolutely.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. And know that personally, firsthand experience that. And then I have to tell you, I think the reason you began this whole movement is because once you own it, you don't have any other exciting endeavor than to extend it, than to share it, to have everyone know this. And I know that that's the true intention behind the mission here. I know that's what the two of you embody, and it's like such a privilege. Well, always makes me feel
appreciate you being with us today.
Know that I'm with you ladies always behind the scenes in the unseen, holding the space with you, because I know your intention is so pure, and this is such a valuable and important endeavor and mission that you have.
Thank you, Maureen. We love you, and we're so happy to have you here, that we can feature you on our Imagine Peace podcast. And we are from 10millionforworldpeace.org. Thank you.
Love, love, love you. Thank
Love
you,
you.
everybody.
Thank you, everyone.